I believe Bitcoin could have potentially bottomed out here already, but it is not time to buy it. I will show you the exact moment where I'm going to buy heavily more Bitcoin, and you should do the same. If you want to know what I'm talking about, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let's directly jump into it here. So here, first of all, we need to talk about the CME chart, because Bitcoin potentially will not get a CME gap today. The Bitcoin price is a little bit lower than, I know, it's actually still around the same price where I had drawn in the potential CME gap here. We are trading at $63,600, $500-ish right now, but CME closed on Friday 1,000 higher at $64,600 approximately. So if we keep trading around this price level here, then we will have a CME gap of $1,000 that potentially will get closed either tomorrow or on Tuesday. Once we are closing the CME gap, I believe that we will move into higher price levels, because we will trigger some liquidation levels that should lead to a small short squeeze and bring us back to $65,000 and $66,000. When we are going to the daily chart, I want directly to show you why I believe that we have potentially bottomed out here. For this, we only need to look at the market structure. The market structure here on the daily chart is still the same. We are still remaining to stay in an uptrend here with higher lows, here also higher low, and potentially here also a higher low. So if this higher low gets confirmed on this macro structure, then we know that the worst is over and Bitcoin is ready to resume to rally to the upside. What level are we looking at to basically get our confirmation here? The level that we need to look at and to reclaim is this area here. Funny enough, that is exactly coincidentally lining up with the level that I just spoke about, $65,600, $66,000 approximately. Once we're above that, we can be sure that the worst is over and that we are resuming to go here to the upside. The lower end of that is at $64,500, and that is here once again the level where the CME gap would be completely closed, and where we closed also the CME on Friday. So once we're pushing here into this resistance area and flip this into support, we get continuation to the upside. If we start losing this lower low here, higher low, and also this one here at $59,000, again, this is where we are getting out of the market, because the next level of support is down here at $52,000. Another way how you can look at this is if you draw here a downwards trending trend line. Also here, once that line is broken, this is your final confirmation that the downtrend is coming to an end, and that Bitcoin is ready to go back to $70,000 and potentially beyond that. Downwards trend line is sitting right now at, if we break it tomorrow, at $66,200. On Wednesday. So if we go here up tomorrow, it's roughly $66,600. So that is the level to overcome if you want like a 100% confirmation, But for me, it's enough if we get back to like 65, 66, something like this, So when we are above that level, to buy heavily, not only Bitcoin, also altcoins. On the 4-hourly chart, nothing has really changed. I told you yesterday, we had a really nice opportunity to buy down here and would potentially get a bounce from there. And that is also exactly what happened. So I hope that you were able to catch this move with me together, because I added a little bit more to my long position that I have at these levels, exactly as I told you guys. And as you can see, we are trying to move here away from the bottom of this triangle and potentially retest the downwards trend line of that triangle, which is also in alignment with $66,000 here right now. The only thing that we don't want to see is that we come up here, get rejected, and then do something like this. But this is also a scenario that I need to point out here, guys. So it is a potential scenario, even though I give it a really small chance to play out right now. The higher probability play here is that we come up here, maybe get rejected, but start consolidating just below that and then get a nice break to the upside. Here on this daily chart in our bull flag formation, also nothing has here really changed. You see here's also this downwards trend line. We got rejected from there earlier today, but I think a retest of that level will still happen in the next coming hours. And from there, we have then to reassess the situation. If we actually break then convincingly through this and reclaim the mid-range, or if we go a little bit more sideways before we do that. Another level that's really important to reclaim here on the daily chart is the 50 moving average here in red, sitting at $65,200. That will be also the first sign for a potential turnaround when the price action is getting above that moving average. Now on the hourly chart, we see what I was talking about here a couple seconds ago, that we potentially get a retest here already today, moving to the upside, because former support resistance flip zone here that we are still trading within might be now being broken to the upside over the next, let's say, 5 hours. That is the time frame that I believe will lead to a move to the upside. Here, the first level that we need to look at is the Monday low. So I want the Monday low to be reclaimed today, and also that we close the daily above that, and then start pushing here into the imbalance. And once we are starting properly pushing into that and closing 15-minute, 30-minute candles in it, that we can be really, really sure that we go and completely fill out this imbalance all the way up to $66,200. And there we're gonna face some resistance, in my opinion, before we see a move into higher prices. Why do I believe that we are going up from here? Because the stochastic is at the bottom, giving us a buy signal right now. If we are keeping these price levels that we are at right now, the RSI is going to the upside, and also the MACD was basically giving us here a small fake out and is now also starting to turn bullish. You also see this in the price action. We had here a small flag, so to speak, so this flag is breaking out right now here to the upside. On the 30 minutes chart, also here we have bullish signs in alignment with everything else, and that comes from this potential bump and run pattern that we have here. So let me actually draw it in here. So we have here bump and run pattern with the lead phase. We have down here the bump phase. We have here the retest. Afterwards, we have the uphill run. Retest is basically happening here and confirmed for the time being. So if you are risk adverse, you could enter a trade right now based on that 30 minutes bump and run pattern here. The technical target for this pattern is also something that I want to show you guys. Target for this pattern would be, surprise, surprise, again around the $66,300 level. We would break some major resistance here on the way up if we do so. And from there, really, really fast touch $70,000 in my opinion. But the next couple of hours will actually tell us if this is going to play out. So, and if you want to trade this, like I said, you want to enter now. Let's say you want to wait for this resistance to be broken. Then here is your trade setup. You have here a 1 to 3.88 risk to reward ratio. Let's say it's 1 to 4 risk to reward risk ratio. You have here almost 4% to the upside and 1% of a stop loss to the downside. So if you trade this with 20x, that's 80% of rewards to the upside with a potential 20% stop loss. So, and that is a trade that I would personally take definitely if I would not have already a position. So, but if you are looking for an entry, here you have your entry. Just wait for a 15 minutes candle to close above $63,800 to enter this with a target of $66,260 approximately. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade anywhere, then trade where I trade, and that's on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 in deposit bonuses Otherwise, you can also trade on Margex without any KYC. And if you cannot use BYBIT, then use BITGET or Phemex. On Phemex, you get up to $6,000 in deposit bonuses plus another $8,000 that you can win in pulse tokens. All these links to these exchanges are in the pinned comment below and in the description. And also don't forget, we are starting a newsletter that will come out every week. So also just use here the Google form to subscribe to our newsletter. So now let's go back here to the Bitcoin price. Here on the 1 hourly chart with the EMA ribbons, we see here a potential flip. We need to wait the next 40 minutes to actually confirm that. If we can confirm that and see some follow through here, which is really promising looking right now, then we are flipping here back into an uptrend, and this will of course spill over into the other time frames. We just need to wait a little bit for that. So but yeah, in my opinion, $66,000 or here, yeah, $65,200 to $66,000 is the next level that Bitcoin is going to attack before we see potentially a small correction to the downside with some reaccumulation and then another attack to the upside here. When we're looking at liquidation levels, we have below us here on the 4 hourly chart some over-leveraged long positions that could get cleaned, let's say over the next 8 to 12 hours. I don't want to rule out that we see a small dip down again with a directly bounce back to the upside into major liquidity, but it could also be the case that we just keep going up here, get then here a retracement and continue upwards. So because the 4 hourly is here a little bit overextended on the stochastic, I don't want to neglect that. And that is telling me here there could be a small flush to like $62,200, but then definitely a bounce back to the upside. It might be actually a little bit higher than the prior flush that we had here to 62,400. So maybe 62,600 higher low and then continuation to the upside. Also here, really important to reclaim the 50 moving average on the 4 hourly chart at $64,400. And once we do that, we should finally get then also here our golden cross over the next couple of days. When we're looking at the liquidation heat map, then also here a clean picture. You see here between 62,500 and 63,200, there is some long liquidity sitting right now. It's more or less $80 million, but we have also still above us major liquidity stacked up here over the last 24 hours that we could tap in first before seeing any major retracement. As long as Bitcoin is holding above that small support zone here of $63,000 to $63,400, the uptrend, in my opinion, will resume. And guys, that's it already for today's update. I hope you enjoyed it, that it was a really quick one. Let me know if you want more of these really shorter form videos in the comments, and don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.